Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I'll be giving you my spoiler-filled review for the latest zombie film to hit the big screens. I'm talking of course about 28 Years Later. Oh my goodness, what a film this was. Now, before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned, again, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen 28 Years Later and you plan to watch it this weekend at some point or later down the line, you don't want to keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, I absolutely loved it. It felt so nostalgic watching it. Just the editing style, the way it cuts from one scene to another, the pacing, the zombie attacks. It was all so reminiscent of 28 Days Later, which is no surprise at all considering both the writer and director, Alex Garland and Danny Boyle, respectively, returned to do this film, and they did a phenomenal job. Hats off to you, gentlemen, and to everybody who was involved in the making of this film, the cast and crew. But wow, what a movie this was. I absolutely loved it. I loved every second of it. It was so damn entertaining and so damn good. It had a little bit of everything: excitement, carnage, gore, zombies, humor, heart, depth, drama. I mean, God, this movie had so much going on for it. It was so well packaged and well put together and well done, with everything I just mentioned just blended so well together. It's hard to describe how good it was. You know, the thing that I probably enjoyed the most about it was one of the zombies action was cool, of course, and whatnot. And the infected were great. They were scary. They were naked. Sorry. But some of them had evolved into these big fat bloaters, which were nasty, disgusting, but awesome at the same time. The zombie action was great, but the thing I really enjoyed about the film, especially in the second half of the story, was the humanity of the story. You know, this film was ultimately about a boy and his relationship with his parents. And, you know, the relationship with dad ain't so good. They don't leave on very good terms when he sneaks out with his mother to get her help from the doctor. And then, of course, the mom has got some kind of mental and physical thing going on throughout most of the film. We have no idea what it is until the doctor, played by Ralph Fiennes, says, yeah, you've basically got cancer, and it's either spread from your brain to the rest of your body, or it's spread from your body to your brain. So either way, she was fucked. And then on top of that, this little miracle occurs where an infected woman gives birth to a human baby. Now, how is that possible? And is it a sign of hope for the future? Can the United Kingdom come back from this almost 30-year quarantine with this little symbol of hope? Who knows? But that's a question the next two movies will hopefully answer. Well, we don't know if there will be a third film yet, but it has been confirmed that a second movie is indeed coming out next year, next January, called 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And the ending of this film definitely opened up more story to be told, which was very, very exciting. So I really love the humanity of this film, because it was just so touching to see the boy and his mom bond during their perilous journey to find the doctor. They find the doctor, he gives his diagnosis, and then both he and the mother, who's lucid at the moment, decide to gently put her down while entrusting the baby to the boy and entrusting him to get back home safely, which he technically does, but he just does it long enough to leave the baby behind, because apparently he still wants to see the rest of the mainland, or at least see the mainland until he can no longer see the ocean. And of course that devastates his father, but I'm sure, he'll appear in the next film in some capacity. And then the thing I also really liked a lot was the very ending, where we meet a new group of survivors who seem cool, but then the main guy introduces himself as Jimmy, and it's revealed he's the little boy now grown up we saw in the opening scene of the flashback when the rage virus first broke out all over the United Kingdom. And it was interesting because I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson's character was that little boy from the opening scene, but it turns out it's this guy instead. So that was an interesting, fun twist. And then the other interesting thing I noticed, a detail I noticed, is that early in the film, when Spike and his dad come across the hanging upside down infected person, someone had carved their name Jimmy into its side, like they either carved or like burned it in like a cigarette burn that spelled out Jimmy. And so when he said his name was Jimmy, it was like, oh, not only is he the little boy from the opening scene, but he's the leader of this group of survivors who may be hostile or sinister. But they did seem to save Spike's life for the time being, so maybe they're okay guys, or maybe they're pretty nasty people. But again, we probably won't know until the sequel next year. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Like I said, it had a little bit of everything. The humor, the funny shit between the Swedish soldier, Eric, and Spike, just the generational differences, and Spike not knowing what a cell phone is or stuff like that, or online, and then just all of that stuff between the two of them was hilarious. The theater was laughing along so out loud to that super funny moment. Like, amongst all the carnage and the horror and zombies, we get this relatively light moment in the film where these three characters, after one of them saves the other two, have this hilarious little scene, and it just works so well. They play off of each other. The mom calls him a dick, and the boy calls him out for different shit, and then the soldier calls out the boy for different stuff. It's funny as hell. Oh, man. But like I said, this movie was just so well balanced. Well balanced between horror, action, heart, humor, drama, and I would even say depth, because everybody carried a lot. You could tell every actor did a great job in their respective roles. These were characters, these were people, all of whom had clearly been carrying and continue to carry a lot throughout their lives, like anybody would in a post-apocalyptic situation. So I absolutely loved this film. I hope you guys loved it as much as I did. What did you guys think of 28 years later? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are down below in the comments section. I absolutely loved it and plan on seeing it many, many more times because it was just that good. Have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. And of course, until next time, what's your favorite scary movie?